Hey guys, so I'm Kat. Thank you so much for being here for this video. I gotta say, it's been a long time. If you click on the link and you're watching this video, I'm sure you can see that there were other attempts at earlier times, but it just didn't seem like the right time, or I wasn't ready. Either way, thank you so much for being here now. I appreciate it. I kind of look a hot mess because I just got done the gym and it's getting close to my bedtime, so I figured I'd just get it out of the way. Well, not like that, but get into it and then put it out there because today is the 1st, so happy 1st, happy spooky season. And then tomorrow we have the new moon in Libra, and it's also an eclipse, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. At first I was really drawn to make a video, and then I was looking at the timing and it got me really excited, like for whatever. I was like, you know what, this is a really good time. Like, new moons are new beginnings. And then with an eclipse, like that's crazy transformational energy. And also, like on top of like doing the cards and stuff, I also follow a lot of, like I have a separate page for like my gym stuff and like that whole journey. And a term that I'd never really heard before until like last week called the winter's arc, which the things that I had seen said that it starts around September 26th. But like when I Googled it, like the times do vary. So use your own discretion, do your own research. But it said that it started on September 26th and then it would go till the new year, like around January 1st, January 2nd. And basically that time we all kind of look at it as like the holiday time and like we kind of take time off and oh, it's okay because I'm going to all these holiday things and I'm going to eat the cookies and I'm going to do, and like that's fine, but also like it's actually the opposite. Like you're supposed to really like zero in on yourself and like lock in, and like in the gym community they're like ghost the world, just lock in and get that shit done. And it's true. Like you should like figure out what habits you might need to work on, see what it like, not your weak spots, but the things that you like. If you want to see certain things come into your life, if they're not there already, then take the steps that you need. If there's a project that you're working on, put more energy into it. If it's the gym, put more energy into it. If like whatever it is, it could be the gym, it could not, but whatever is going to be good for you and help you flourish and grow, go with that. I wrote some notes because I like to talk, and so I want to go ahead and get everything out that I want to get out and like talk about, and then we'll get into some cards and stuff. So I already talked about that. But yeah, so I totally sorry, I totally spaced for a second. So like I'm actually right on track, so that's super great for me. You're gonna get a lot of that, so if that's not your thing, you can just, I'm all over the place, so you're just gonna have to bear with me, and I apologize in advance, and thank you if that doesn't bother you at all. So yeah, our habits, and primarily with the energy of the new moon, Libra is about balance. Libra is about partnership. Libra is about the inner child. So all of that energy, what is gonna help like right now, I feel like it could be potential partnerships like outside of yourself, but I really feel like with this new moon and with the eclipse, I really feel like it's an energy of like rebranding yourself, like rebuilding. If you had some shit go down, if you've been in like a dark night of the soul period, or if like you just haven't been catching the vibe, like you're just going through life, you really aren't identifying with yourself, you're just kind of going through the motions, or you're just doing what you need to do or what you're obligated to do because you have a family or you have friends or you have a job, you have obligations. Not to say that, you know, those things aren't good things, but also we kind of get lost in the sauce sometimes. So this is a really good time to like check in with yourself, look at where your energy is kind of going out to, like look at it like money, like where are you spending the most of it, you know, and is it reciprocated? Is it coming back to you? Are you getting revenue? Like if you're not, you know, like you gotta fall back, like, you know, take this winter's arc and take the time to like really lock into yourself and like see where your weak spots are. Like, is it a codependent relationship that you have, either you or the other person? And if that's something, then you gotta talk about that, or like, you know, you gotta think about that for yourself. Is it like, you know, family is taking too much energy from you, and it's not even like, because family shit can be a lot, right? Like like all family, it can be a lot, and that's okay. But if it's consistently just bad times, you know, bad news bears all the fucking time. Same thing with friends. Like, I know there's some people that we love, but every day is a fucking Greek tragedy for them. And like, there's no solutions, there's no resolutions, it's just is what it is at that point for them, you know what I mean? And if you're putting too much of your energy into that and like putting like feeling like you're the one going through it, like you got to pump the brakes on that shit too, because that takes away from you and it depletes you. And then by the, you know, by the time you're done, and the next thing you know, like you're just burnt the fuck out. Burnt out. And who knows how long, like people say burnout a lot, but it takes a lot for a person to actually get there. So when you get there, sometimes like it can take a really long time to recuperate from that. And we want to try to not get there. So like figure out your shit, build some boundaries. You know, if that makes you a bad guy, you know, good guy for you. Like you got to be your own hero sometimes. Like not sometimes. We always have to be our own hero. Nobody else can be our own hero, or nobody else can be a hero for us. That's just not going to happen. It's just not how it works. Like, period, for anybody, you know. So totally check on your energy, and like also, what is it that you're giving out? What is it like? Not like, yeah, you want to make sure that you're being reciprocated, but like, what is it that you're putting out that is being reciprocated? Like, is it toxic? Is it positive? Is it, you know, you think about that stuff too, because like people will tit for fucking tat, you know what I mean? And sometimes we're not always operating from the best place ourselves. So like you really have to check in with yourself on that too. Is it something that like other people can vibe with, or is it other people meeting you where you are, and is where you're at maybe not the best place? Just saying. And then also, going outside of all of that, sometimes when we're not operating from the best place, take a look around you. Like, first of all, what are you looking like? You know, and this, like, I'm not even trying to be shallow. I was trying to think of the word. Like, I'm not trying to be shallow or anything, but like, where are you at? Like, are you just kind of throwing some shit on and walking out the door because you don't care? Are you, you know, putting your best clothes on? Are you putting effort into the way you look? You know, for the most part, how you look, of course, it's, you know, the least interesting thing about you. So the way you look, and if you are good, if you're comfortable, that's great. You know, nobody's saying that. But like, also, when you look your best, you feel your best. And when you feel your best, you do your best. And when you do your best, good things can happen. So maybe even if your day is going to be full of nothing, you have no plans, you're off, like dress up, wear them shoes, wear that cologne, wear that perfume, put that lipstick on. Even if you're just going to fuck around, even if you're just going to dick around the house for the day, even if it's on a Sunday and you don't go anywhere, look best for you. Like, that way you can look past the mirror and be like, ew, that's me, you know? So that could also definitely help. And your surroundings. I said something about like your house. Like right now my setup is ghetto. It's it's transient. Well, this is actually my workstation, but behind me, so I had to put a tapestry words, but we're doing our best. We're doing our best. We're doing our best right now. Okay. Okay, all right. So, but you know, are you okay with it? Is it full of things that make you happy? Is it full of anything? Are there pictures on your walls? Are there posters on your walls? Like, and are the posters 10 years old that reflect the shit that you liked back then and you've just been too lazy to refresh them because you just feel like you need something on the wall? Or is it stuff that you've, you know, curated for yourself over time? Is it, you know, things that you pick up from like the farmer's market or like an oddities fair or like, you know, it doesn't always have to be weird, but like, does it reflect you? Does it reflect what you like? Does it reflect who you are as a person? Does it give you joy? Like, it sounds kind of corny, but does it? Like, does it? Does it? And is it clean? Or is it messy? And are there piles everywhere? Get rid of the piles. You know? I'm talking to me too. I'm talking to you. Like, talking to you. Get rid of the piles. You know? Like, they always, like, it's so cliche. And sometimes I hate to hear the cliches, but, you know, they say that your surroundings is a reflection of like your mental health, and if there are piles everywhere, then like, yeah, it's some shit you gotta work out. And that's true sometimes. So, and don't you feel so much better when you clean it and when you do your laundry and you put it away? Maybe not all on the same day, but like by the time you get done, you're just like, yes, bitch, or yeah, motherfucker. Because like, I don't know if boys call themselves bitches, and I don't think it's just gonna be girls that watch this video. So like, and I already said, I wrote this down, but I talked about it earlier, regaining your identity. If there is anything that I've said anything here and you're just kind of like, ugh, like, no, I only wear work clothes, or I only wear like athleisure because I don't, you know, just find like your own flavor. Like what you like, you could, not saying you gotta like go out and buy a whole new wardrobe or like go, you know, somewheres and buy a whole bunch of like art for your walls or anything like that. Like, don't go crazy, but you know, you want to feel home all the time. Like, your home should be an extension of yourself. When you have people come over, they should be able to feel like this is your house. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is you. Like, this is like, I love the vibe. You know, whatever it is, whatever your vibe is. It should be, you know, people walk in and they go, this makes sense. Like, I would see this coming to your house, or like, I was hoping I would see this coming to your house, like that kind of thing. And if not, like, revamping is fun. Revamping and you know, like coming up with like a new whatever. Go, I don't know anything about Samsung, but on an iPhone, I think like a couple updates ago, time is weird, so I don't really remember, but there's a freeform app, and I fucking love that shit. It's like a vision board for your phone. It's like a visual journal. I use it as like a vision board. And I was watching Queen Herbie one day. I don't know if you know who she is, but she's amazing and I love her music. And her husband have a podcast for like creative thinkers and stuff. And I recommend them to everybody because I feel like they have things on there that like, yeah, they talk about art and like we need your art and stuff like that, but it's really informative. And now they have guests on and stuff on there. But anyway, getting like totally ahead of myself. She was talking about, like, in the very beginning of her podcast, how she would go on Pinterest and create these vision boards. And it would be her inspiration for when she would come out with a new EP or, you know, whatever. And if you follow her at all, her discography is like crazy. She has a ton of different EPs. And like, her identity doesn't change with each one, but there is like a major vibe that's different and like singular, secular, individual to that particular project. And it's, you know, and it like reflects throughout the songs, throughout the sounds, you know, the words, the like the visuals. She's a very visual creative artist. But I love that. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, that makes so much fucking sense. Like, why wouldn't I do that? So I use that shit for everything. It's like Frank's hot sauce. I use that shit for everything. I use it for like decorating the house, like projects, like things that I want to do to be creative for myself, like things, goals that I have that I want to get done. And it could make no sense. It doesn't have to make any sense. It could be like a patch of color. It could be a word. It could be a screenshot from a particular sports page, like whatever the fuck you want it to be. It's your vision board. It doesn't have to make sense to anybody. Anyway, I feel like I'm getting off topic. But yeah, I'm just really feeling right now like this energy that we're in. If you've been in a funk or you're just feeling like you need something new, you need something refreshing, you need inspiration, you have to dig inside yourself for that. And hopefully the people around you can help you with that. And if not, again, take a look at that, figure it out. And once again, focus on your habits, minimize distractions, like get that tunnel vision, get really clear about what it is that you want your life to look like, what you want in it, what you don't want in it. Sometimes if you don't know what you want in it, but you know what you don't want in it, that's enough. That's enough, you know? So with that being said, let's get in some cards. I didn't really have a feel for what I wanted to use, except for this deck. And I got this deck like years ago before the panorama. And I don't know if I can say that on YouTube, if they're gonna like check me out or whatever. Not like I haven't been cursing or anything on here. But it's called the Amenti Oracle. This is, I don't know how to reverse that right now, but it's called the Amenti Oracle. And it's based off of the Hermetica, which was an Egyptian text. And it would be all of this, like, basically all the steps to like check into yourself and like what you can do, like what is good, like in the Egyptian beliefs, like when you pass over, there is a scale, and on the scale is a heart and a feather. And if you lived right, then they would balance out. And of course you would be straight, you know what I mean? But then if not, there's an imbalance. It would depend on where, you know, what happened to you at that point, what would happen to your soul, you know, at that point. It's pretty interesting. If you ever want to look into it, it's called the Hermetica. It's on Amazon. I got mine on Amazon for like super cheap. I think I got like a used book for like $3. Look into it. And because like I said, I bought this and I think I might have looked at it once or twice. I really don't, like, you know, sometimes it happens. There was a point in time when I was buying mad decks. I was buying decks and decks and decks, and I would look at them like once or twice and the vibe wasn't there, and I would just put them away and I would go back to like Old Faithful, you know. But we'll see. I got really called to do these, so we'll see what comes out. What do we need to know about this new moon eclipse energy? What do we need to think about? What do we need to work on? What is going to bring us balance in this time? Also, I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but like this is going to be an energy that's super powerful for everybody, but it's going to be particularly powerful for air signs. So that is Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. I would check my sun, moon, rising, Venus. But to be honest, even if that's not in your chart anywheres, or it's not in those particular placements in your chart, like I said, whether you have that sign in your chart or not, all signs go through all the different planets. So at some point, that particular energy does hit your chart and it does affect you in some way. I don't do that kind of stuff, so that's like beyond my wheelhouse of knowledge, but somebody could, help you with that. As far as like degrees and stuff, talking to an astrologer, or like a real like chart reader. Okay, so I guess that's it. That's all that popped out for this. How about the one from the bottom? And these two energies, I listen to opposing opinions and I am forgiving. I listen to opposing opinions and I am forgiven. So maybe when I was talking earlier about like the energy that you're conveying, maybe it's a you thing, right? Maybe instead of as soon as you hear somebody saying something that's not really like rocking with what you want to hear or what like you want to go with, maybe that's kind of just what it is, and you just kind of have to not deal with it, but like hear what they say. Where is, sorry guys, it's giving live energy. At least I'm real. At least I'm not fucking around. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna pretend to be whatever. Okay. No, I totally skipped over that. I don't even know why. So in here it says, as a seed journeys toward the sun, with the hope of becoming a budding flower, nature's evolutionary process comes from a series of transformations through contrast. For the benefit of the flowers, we water the thorns too. The metaphors hidden within nature can be applied to the story of human life. In order for growth to occur from darkness to light, we must find appreciation for disparity. Each evolutionary chapter is a part of our journey into being, and the pendulum of experience is what allows us to eventually become one with love. As we grow, contrast provides sage guidance. We learn about the cold by stepping out into the winter and realizing that we need a jacket. When we listen to the forces that oppose our comfort zone, instead of fighting them, we can seek wisdom through opposition by remembering this virtue. When opposition comes in the form of opinion, we may be tempted to react emotionally, but a strong flower lets her petals float on the wind and it does not disrupt her appreciation of the sun's light. If opinion escalates to argument, the fastest way to diffuse chaos is to politely ask questions instead of quibbling over semantics. Choose inquiry over inflammation, appreciation over anger. The thorns are no less a part of the rose than its petals, and while they may poke you if you hold on too tight, if you can appreciate them for what they are, then you can see the integral part of the literal and metaphorical thorns of life play in the divine design of nature and the spiritually mature soul. Damn, that's true, right? That's true. We never know, you know, it stinks sometimes when you hear a different opinion, but from that you also can gain a different perspective. That's the part of growing, you know what I mean? We never stay in the same place, because along the line somewhere we picked up something that like aligned with, you know, us at that time and like the direction that we were going. And sometimes that can start as, you know, a conversation that you thought was going to go one way, but by the end of it. So before I had my baby, I was an alarm dispatcher, and there would be really shitty customers sometimes, because there would be the part of alarms where like you would deal with the actual emergencies and you would handle the alarms as they come into you, whatever it is. But then there would be part of the night where you would have to sit in phones, and that was just like where people called you, and it was kind of shitty, but you just had to do it. And there would be some people that would call and they would be off the rip just ready to fucking jump down my throat and just make me eat shit, because they were in a pissed off mood because somebody fucked up their night or whatever happened, like whatever went down. And, you know, I'm telling them like, usually people would get pissed off like if I couldn't change the way a situation happened, like I can't stop the police from coming to their house because they gave the wrong passcode or whatever, you know, whatever the situation was at that time. But half of the time, I won't say like 9 times out of 10, but because there was a lot of people that we talked to on the phone, but half the time the people by the end of that conversation were more cordial, were more polite, were more apologetic, were more appreciative, were like, thank you for taking the time, and not just automatically because like I was an asshole to you, like you in turn, you know, didn't help me out, or, you know, you didn't do your best, like you just matched me with that energy, because sometimes it's not what you need to do. Sometimes people are just gonna, you know. So there goes, that's that. I am forgiving. There is an ancient Hawaiian practice which is believed to have been passed down through oral tradition from sage wisdom keepers of days gone by, called Ho'oponopono. I'm so sorry if I said that wrong. The practice posits that in actively seeking forgiveness of transgressions, the spirit is healed, the gods are pleased, and balance is restored in family, friendships, and community. The word is loosely interpreted as mental cleansing, family conferences in which relationships were set right through prayer, discussion, confession, repentance, and mutual restitution and forgiveness. It's giving like a little bit of a better Festivus, like in Seinfeld when when George's dad wanted to do Festivus and he was like, we're gonna air out our grievances, you're not got a lot to say. It's kind of like that, I guess, or that's what it's giving to me. I don't know too much about that, unfortunately, at this time, but I am actually going to go learn about that after this. In a modern iteration of this ancient medicine, Dr. Hugh Len devised the concept of self-identity through Ho'oponopono, which has updated the ritual into a simple yet powerful exercise by stating, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. Why is the page stuck? You see, it's like barely touched, the pages stick together. And you're saying that to the person with whom you seek forgiveness. You simultaneously forgive and you heal yourself. This act of awareness can serve as a reminder to embody the ideal of I am forgiving through the understanding that each encounter is but a looking glass for peering into your soul's reflection. Love the reflection and the reflection will love you back. Condemn the reflection and you may not like what you see. Forgive perceived imperfections and wrongdoing, as a heavy heart serves no one but the denser spirits of the underworld. In the divine architecture of experience, perhaps there are no mistakes, only lessons. To maintain a sense of divine harmony, remember to embody the ideal of forgiveness through tenderness, mercy, humility, and gratitude. Keep a feather heart. By forgiving and letting go of the density of anger and judgment, a scale is best balanced with light and love. You know, I had a very tumultuous growing up with my parents, and I've been no contact for a very long time. And it took me a really long time to deal with like all that shit. And one of the books that really helped me with this, and I recommend it to everybody, if you are having issues forgiving even with yourself, The Fifth Agreement. I try to visit it once a year, and it really helps you put it into perspective, like the things that you're carrying, especially if like somebody said something to you or did something to you. Like, nothing is personal. It's always about the other person. You know, the only thing that's personal is us. Like, everything that happens in our life is 80% our reaction, 20% the actual event. I invoke laughter. So yeah, maybe you need to find something, take a break, take this time to focus on yourself and really like clear out some of the energy. Like, you're feeling very heavy at this time. Maybe, you know, people's opinions have carried too much and it's affected too much of your life. You've started moving differently because people said things and made you feel a certain way. We've had a couple cards. Yeah, so we've got the King of Pentacles, Three of Swords, the Moon, and then we've got the Ten of Pentacles. So I feel like you're really on the right path. You're really doing well. Like, whatever you're working on, whatever, you know, I think that with the Three of Hearts, like, you do need some healing. Whatever is, if there is something holding you back at this time, like, you don't need to wait for anything else. You don't need to be anywhere else. You don't need to do anything else, or like, you know, there's no more classifications, there's no more anything, there's none of that. You are where you need to be. You just need to focus on healing. So take this Winter's arc and really take a step back so you can get back into your bag, you know, because that ultimately is your bag. And when you're feeling yourself, you're feeling yourself. The Moon, I feel like at this time I feel like you've been feeling a certain way, like a certain heaviness, a feeling of like sadness, or maybe just like a mucky feeling, and not really been able to sense or see or feel or know which particular spot it hit or where it came from or like what was said. But the clarity is about to come in. You're about to see exactly what it is. You're about to know exactly how to clear it out and just be on your happy fucking way. And be on your way, you know, get to the bag. It's not going anywhere. It is going to wait for you. Whatever that bag is, if it's money, if it's family, if it's a job, if it's confidence, self-esteem, whatever that bag is for you, whatever you feel is like out of your reach at this time, like so close but so far away, it's closer than you think. You're gonna be fine. Just get out of your head. And I say all that, and this is exactly what I needed to hear too. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for being here. Please let me know down below what you think, how this reading went for you, if it resonated. And I'm going to try to do these a little bit more regularly. I want to try to get a little bit more comfortable with being in front of the camera, and then hopefully we'll get to meet on live sometime. All right, have a good night.